Patterns, the cassette, LP, cassette, full length that came out March 13th, 2020. This is a Dave Cullen joint. So the history behind this one is Dave Cullen had, I guess, recently got on our ZBR Instagram. It's not like he hacked it. Like, I gave him the stuff, and he started like posting stuff as opposed to it always being me. And he just told me one day, he's like, oh, yo, I just got a message from this guy who does a solo project, and it's super sick, and we're going to put up the tapes for it. I was like, oh, sweet. That's fantastic. What is it? It was this. And as soon as I saw the guy's name, I was like, I know that guy. He played in, like, October Skyline. And then I found out right around that same time that he also played in, like, Motel Bible. So I was kind of awestruck and very stoked that we were doing this. Then I, like, heard the masters. Like, oh, man, this is really sick. Then I saw the cover art. I was like, oh, my God, all this is fantastic. So what does it sound like? It sounds like a nightmare, 100%. It is like a mix of noise, maybe like experimental metalcore, and a bit of screamo, I guess. I don't know. Like, you could liken bands that I've put here, Examination of the, Celeste, Malayevic, and Meth, I think are very apt comparisons when listening to old patterns by Orphan Donor, and those would even work for the next album too, which we'll talk about in the future. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. My favorite tracks are Salvi is a Bitch, which has a phenomenal music video that was done by the guy who did the cover too, who is James Ravel, who does all of the Orphan Donor art. Just quickly, I do believe there's an EP that was released before this, maybe just digitally, maybe there's tapes or CDs, I don't know. It's good too, but I really feel like things popped off here. Now I should also mention that Jared, who is the mastermind behind this project and the drummer for all the other bands that I was talking about, he had a previous solo project before Orphan Donor that has well over 100 songs, if not like hundreds of songs, and that solo project is called Poo on a Stick. So I think Heathen Hand might be releasing it, or did release it, I don't know, but there's no way I'm assuming they couldn't have done everything, because there's so many tracks. When he sent me like, here's my other solo projects, and I was like, oh my God, I don't take it seriously, hence the name. And yes, that is correct, but like the stuff is really, really cool, very like spontaneous, stream of consciousness, chaotic, all of those things. It's like a mess organized into a nightmare, if I had to kind of like describe both Poo on a Stick and especially Orphan Donor. So yeah, besides the Salvi's a Bitch, really cool song title, really cool video, really good song. New Patterns was so good that I put it on the 1s and 2s compilation, which will be coming up shortly, I'm assuming. And Body on Fire is also fire. Really, probably one of the most chaotic tracks on the album. Great screaming and stuff too, which is provided by Chris of Clouds Collide. So not only does he do the vocals on the albums, but in 2023 they played ZBR Fest and started playing. They might have started playing shows a bit before that, but the solo project, birthed the band, which is super cool. So they slayed ZBR Fest 2023. When they played Salvi is a Bitch, I lost my mind. It was so good, just crushing. I think it was going. It was either that or whatever the first song they played. I just head explosion. Okay, so on to the physicals, I guess. So there were 2 runs. I still have some of the first runs, so I'm confused why we made the second run. I think it was just because US Dave was out and the next album was coming out, so like, let's just make some more. So the first run is on 45 of these, which are in an O card. It says ZBR 188, not correct. Infant Island is 188, this is actually 189. You definitely know if you have a first run if you have stickers. This was back when I was still printing and putting on the stickers, and then I swirled 30 of them. They're in a regular case. This, yeah. This is this is the swirl, there's no name for it. Really love these ones. They really worked out well, like matching the cover art and stuff too, with the colors. So there's none of those left. There is one of these guys. So there's like one from the first press left if you would like to pick it up. And then we did a second run, and the second run included Space Shit Swirl. Yeah, Space Shit Swirl. So these are all in regular cases. None of them are in O cards, and none of them have stickers on them. So you got Orphan for A side and Donor B side. So I like those. There's 2 of those copies left, and then these were initially supposed to be combined with the new LP. Momentary Mummification Swirl. I actually really like these ones. They look really cool. So it's actually on a silver, like gray silver tape, but the black and the white paints, oh, they turned out really well. And somehow I still have a test tip. There's no test tips in the first run, but there is a test tip in the second run. I think 5 of them. Really nice. So this one's in the store, so pick that up. I don't know why I still have this. This is kind of crazy. Yeah. Jared's a maniac. Jared is an awesome person. Besides getting to meet him at ZBR Fest 2023, he was on a podcast, OMSB Podcast, which is a podcast I do. He was on that one maybe in 2022 or so, probably right before Unraveled came out. Yeah, check this shit out if you have not already. It is, what did I say before? It's a mess organized into a nightmare. I think that is quite apt. So Meditations Volume 3 is coming up next. That is an absolute banger.